It's been 3 whole years since I signed up to Fiverr.com and started making my first ever dollars on the internet. So in this video, I'm going to give you a tour of my Fiverr account and show you exactly how much money I've been able to earn within these last 3 years. So I joined Fiverr in 2019 as a video spokesperson, and to be honest, I haven't looked back. Still, to this day, I'm making spokesperson videos and video content for businesses all around the world, thanks to this platform. And well, what can I say? It's truly been life-changing in so many ways. Starting out with just a camera, a microphone, light, and a homemade teleprompter created from a shoebox, I recorded my first gig video and slapped it up on Fiverr.com. Within a week, I was taking orders and earning my first ever dollars on the internet. As I kept fulfilling orders and earning income, I continually reinvested as much of those earnings as I could into better equipment. I upgraded everything piece by piece, from the camera, microphone, computer. I invested in my home studio to make it look more professional. And with each video project, I got better at presenting to the camera, don't you think? And so, with better equipment and improved skills, my service continued to become more valuable to my buyers over time. So that meant an increased demand, and I mean demand. I was shocked at how much demand there is for this kind of service. I quickly became flooded with orders and found myself really busy filming these videos all the time. So I put my prices up and up, and I've had to keep putting those prices up multiple times over the years as the demand just hasn't slowed down. And today, 3 years later, it shows no sign of slowing down. Anyway, now you know what I do to earn money on Fiverr.com. Let me actually show you inside my profile. Okay, so let's start off by looking at my public profile. As you can see here, I've been on here now for about 3 years, April 2019. I actually only got my first order in June 2019. This gig here is the first gig that I created back in 2019, and it's become a bit of a workhorse gig, and it's brought in most of my income over the years. Now, as you can see, I've expanded to 10 gigs now. And you'll notice that all the gigs are related in some kind of way. They're either a variation of the same service, like this YouTube gig here, or they're a kind of supporting service, like this script writing gig and this video editing gig as well. Now, I'll probably make a video going into more detail and the strategy behind this kind of gig setup as well. We've almost reached 1K reviews, and I'm hoping to reach that sometime this year. And I've earned some pretty cool accolades on the website too. So, top rated seller as a start. We've also got this Repeat Buyers Award, which is a very solid bit of social proof. And on top of that, I can demonstrate 3 very well-known clients that I've worked with in the past here. I've worked with Binance, The Hustle, and then Wondershare. I've been blessed with this portfolio feature. We can click into it and have a look at a few of the projects that we've created here. Now, this is something that not all Fiverr users have, and I don't know why, because it's an incredibly useful sales tool that I believe that every user should have. Because I display some of our best videos on here, and I often direct potential buyers to this page to check out our work, and this often leads me to making a sale, so it's a very useful tool. And under that, you can see that I've completed a bunch of Fiverr Learn courses. So I like this, as it demonstrates to buyers that I've taken the time to learn some skills and invested in my education to serve them better. The courses are all relevant to the services I provide, so that makes sense. And then the final thing to see on my public profile is the amazing reviews, except for these few that you can see here, unfortunately. But as a whole, we have some extremely positive reviews. You just have to scroll down for yourself to see. 5 stars all over the place. Okay, so let's have a look at the current state of my dashboard. Okay, so we're most of the way through the month. It's the 20th today, so we've got about 10 days left. We've already earned $10,339. That's not too bad at all. And we've got $6,720 worth of open orders currently. 23 open orders as well. I'm probably going to clear all of those within this week. Okay, you'll see a bunch of late orders at the top as well. These are just in revision, so it doesn't really matter as much. You're only really tracked on your first delivery. I did deliver the initial ones on time, but both of these clients want a few changes, so we're still working on those. So, if we just scroll down, you can see the average price of the current orders is pretty healthy. We've got $350, $350. We've got a few $100 ones, 300 again. We've got a nice $1,500 one here. Some $400 here as well. And we've got a few that have been delivered as well. We're just waiting for the clients to sign those off. So everything is at a very nice, around $300 kind of mark. And yeah, okay, yep, so that's my dashboard. Let's go ahead and move over to orders. So the most interesting to see on here really is the completed, where we've done 1,379 completed orders in 3 years. And if I click on the gig filters here, you can see how many orders I've received on each gig. So of course, this is the original, my first ever spokesperson gig. I've nearly got 500 orders on there. It's had the most, followed by my YouTuber gig, green screen, voiceover. There's an unboxing gig there as well. So yeah, a decent amount of orders. Okay, cancellations, 53. So if you do the maths, out of 1,379 orders, that's a cancellation rate of about 3% over 3 years. I think that's a pretty good cancellation rate. Now, in any business, you're always going to face some cancellations. Sometimes people order incorrectly, sometimes you get an order that's just not a good fit, and in some super rare circumstances, you are just not able to satisfy the buyer's needs. But 3%, I'm pretty content with this. Okay, now let's dive into the gig section and have a look at how my gigs are performing. Okay, so create a stunning spokesperson for you. 19k impressions. This is the biggest gig that I've got over the last 30 days. We've got 550 clicks, 25 orders in the last 30 days. Then obviously my next biggest gig is this YouTuber gig, 16k impressions, 434 clicks, and 19 orders. That's quite a lot, I would say. And then obviously the next biggest one, green screen. So there's a trend here, obviously. My 3 spokesperson gigs are the ones that get the most attention, the most orders, and most likely the most revenue as well. I don't think there's anything too crazy important to see in each of the gigs. I've set a max order limit of 12 for this one specifically. You can see that the impressions are always bouncing around. That's completely normal. Same with orders as well, up and down, up and down. This is completely normal. Clicks are looking pretty healthy. So yeah, after the spokesperson category, the next biggest gigs that get the most attention are the unboxing gig, my e-learning course gig, screencast video gig, and then it's my voiceover gig, and the video editing one, and then script. Okay. This isn't too interesting. Let's move over to the juicy stuff in analytics. This is the best bit. Okay, are you ready? Analytics? Boom! Okay, here we are. So what we are looking at is we have done $179,517.37 in the last 3 years on Fiverr.com. Yes. So in 3 years, I've made about $180,000 US dollars. That's pretty good. The average selling price over the 3 years has been $171.36. Now, of course, because I've done 1,379 orders, that average selling price has been slowly creeping up bit by bit as I increase my prices. Because obviously when I first started, I think my first gig started at about $10, and now that same gig starts at $100. So it's increased in price 100 times. 10 times. My maths is terrible. Sales in June, you can see that we've done 10,195 so far, but the interesting stuff happens when we start looking at the yearly statistics. So let's change it to yearly. Here we go. So 2019, when I started here in June, my first month, I made about $40, and then $712 in my first full month, which at the time was just mind-blowing. I'd never made any money on the internet, really. And to make $700 in my first full month of trying to do something on the internet to make money, it blew my mind. That was when I really realized that, hey, this has potential. So by August, my second full month, making over $1,000, yeah, game changing. Anyway, so as you can see, in that first 6 months, in that first kind of year or so of me using Fiverr, I made $10,000, basically. Now let's go over to 2020. The year of the pandemic, the year that we don't like to talk about. Big crash down to $600 on February. But basically, for the whole year, I cleared $26,000. And I did Fiverr mostly full-time as well, actually. So I was, still kind of finding my feet, trying to still find out what works. But yeah, 26,000, not bad at all. Move over to 2021, last year, and we made $77,282. And as you can see here, Our biggest month was $13,191 in a single month. That's insane. And to date, that has been my best month on Fiverr so far. But I have a feeling that this month, in June, we're probably going to beat that. Okay, so that $77,000, I had earned that through 521 orders throughout the year. Now, let's have a look at this year, 2022. So far, we're at $64,000, 666, yeah, $64,000. Wow, that's insane because we're only halfway through the year. So we've basically nearly made exactly the same amount of money as we did throughout the entirety of 2021, halfway through 2022. So this is going to be an extremely good year. I have a feeling that if we just stay at the current level that we're at, we'd probably earn about $120,000 this year from Fiverr.com alone, which is an insane amount of money for this kind of work. So I'm very happy with it, at least. Okay, let's scroll down and have a look at some interesting stats. So, as you can see, currently I've got 10 orders in progress, 6 have been delivered, 2 are currently being revised, that's fine. But this is interesting. So, I've got 38 orders have come through custom offers, which is when you send an offer to a customer in your inbox, in your messages, and then they accept it that way. And then 31 orders have been placed on the actual gigs themselves. So customers have come in and they've seen my gig, they've clicked the buy button, and then we've, managed the order that way. So 55% of my orders actually come through the inbox. Now this is really important because that demonstrates that the way that you discuss your project with customers has a big influence on whether you're going to make more sales or not. So that is going to be a video that I'm going to be coming out with soon to try and help you make more sales through the inbox. Okay, here's the standards to maintain if you want to be a top-rated seller. Pause it if you're interested, or you can find it on Fiverr.com yourself. Here we go, some reviews. We've had 886 5-star reviews, so mostly 5-star reviews, which is incredible. A measly 14 4-star, 3 3-stars, and 1 1-star. You're going to get them at some point, but that's a pretty good ratio. And we've got rated orders, 66%. So basically what that means is 34% of my buyers complete the order and never leave a review. That's great. But 66% of people have come and they have left me that nice review after the order is finished. This is a pretty good average. It's probably what you can expect in most cases as well. Okay, world domination. So this is where my buyers are from around the world. Yeah, world domination. Okay, so as you can see here, United Kingdom, that's where I'm from, 281 sales. The US, 305 sales. I believe they're my 2 biggest countries of customers. So English-speaking countries, that's where I get most of my work from. Canada, 66. We've got Russia, 8. China, 16, India, 52, that's quite a lot, actually, quite surprised. And obviously, if I just flick through Europe here, Netherlands is nice, Scandinavia, even down into the Middle East and Africa, even as far as New Zealand. Wow, okay. So there we go, that was world domination. So that was the main analytics page. Let's have a look through some of these sub-pages on analytics as well. So we can go in repeat business, and you'll notice that I have 99 out of 100%. I think that's a percent thing. I've got 99 out of 100 on repeat business in the spokesperson category, which is outstanding. That's the thing that allows me to have that little award on my gigs that demonstrate that I have a lot of repeat buyers. So you can see that I've had 46 repeat buyers, and that's 42% of buyers. We've earned $28,000 from repeat buyers. I don't know when... 90 days. There we go. And we've had 68% of our income come from those repeat buyers within those 90 days. Of course, having repeat customers is really essential to grow your business, in any business at all, on Fiverr or off Fiverr. So that is definitely something that you need to be concentrating on if you want to grow your business and make more money. I don't have anywhere near as many repeat customers in other categories. Here in Voiceover, for example, I've got 6. Oh, look at that. A new order just came in. Let's click on it and find out. $110. Spokesperson. See, that's how it happens. Okay, back to work. Yeah, so voiceover, not as many, but there you go. Okay, so apparently my click-through rate is pretty good, 3.1%. Apparently Fiverr thinks it's impressive, and I'm outperforming 82% of sellers in my subcategory. Same with conversion rate, 4.4%. Outperforming 77% of sellers in my category. So yeah, that's putting us quite high up at the top. We can have a look at other gigs as well. Yeah, similar kind of metrics. Looking at the unboxing video, I've got a 0.98% conversion rate, so that's pretty low, and that probably, makes me think that there's things that I could do to improve it. Order breakdown shows us where our orders are actually coming from. So it says here, again, we're looking at 180 days here. Organic traffic, we've had 80 orders come through. 13 orders have come from promoted gig. I've had no Fiverr's choice. I've had 25 a business. Okay, interesting. So it looks like organic traffic really is where we're getting most of our orders from. Top keywords, kind of interesting again. Top 10 keywords where I'm earning my money. So these are the keywords that people actually search in the Fiverr search bar that then leads them to my gig that then they buy from. So you can see the obvious ones: spokesperson, video spokesperson. If you're really interested in these metrics, pause the video and have a look. Let's move on. Boom, okay, promoted gigs. I'm going to be making a separate video on this entirely that we can go through everything in detail. Very quickly, what you can see here is that we've had 99 orders. I've set this to look at maximum, so all time basically. Yeah, 99 orders. I've spent $958 on promoted gigs so far, but I've earned basically $20,000. So that is a pretty good return on investment, I would say. All of the gigs that are eligible to be promoted, I have promoted, and I've set every single one to auto bid. So I'm not setting my own cost per click at all. I'm letting Fiverr determine the best bid for me. I've basically set my daily budget to $5 a day. I think that's enough, really. I might experiment with more, but we'll see how it goes. And then, of course, you can see the CPC per gig here. The one thing that I found very strange and very interesting is that if you look at my cost per click on average, it's like, 62 cents, 72 cents, 60 cents, 33 cents. But then when it comes to my female spokesperson gig, which is one of my good friends who is the presenter on that gig, and I just manage it for her, her cost per click is $1.07. So promoted gigs is probably going to be more competitive for female spokesperson. That's what I'm assuming anyway. There you go. But yeah, you can see how much I've spent on promoted gigs for each of the gigs and how much that I've earned individually. So I've earned $7,000 from this one gig, from promoted ones, $7,900 from a green screen one, $3,000 on the YouTube one. So basically this is just demonstrating that if you want to stay relevant and competitive on Fiverr, then you kind of have to be using promoted gigs. Otherwise, people like me who are using promoted gigs, we're just going to stay on top of you. So get on promoted gigs as soon as you possibly can. Seller Plus. Yes, I'm a Seller Plus member. It's $29 a month. I've got a video all about it on the YouTube channel. Go and check it out. I definitely think it's useful. I think it's definitely something that every single Fiverr user should be subscribed to if they are serious about growing their Fiverr business, because there's so many perks, there's so many extras that you get from doing it. $29 a month is just, cost of doing business. But we won't go into too much depth about that now. Look at other videos for that. Earnings. Now, in the earnings tab, it's pretty much the same as what you see in the analytics tab, but I'm aware that I've got a few more features that not everybody has. So the first thing that you'll notice straight away is that I've got the option to early payout. So I don't have to wait 7 days anymore for my money to come through. I can actually click the early payout button and it will charge me 1% to get that money instantly. Now, of course, I'm not going to do that because I want to keep as much money as possible. Fiverr takes enough from us and they don't need an additional 1% from me. So I don't really use that early payout feature unless I'm in really desperate need of some additional cash flow in my business. I have definitely used it a few times and it's definitely been a lifesaver in certain situations. It's a great tool, it's very useful. I think it should stick around and I think that a lot of people should have access to it. Use it wisely. Then the next interesting feature that I've got is get a cash advance. So Fiverr will actually give you some money. because, you know, I've got a trustworthy Fiverr account. They can see that I'm making lots of money. They know that I'm going to have a lot of future earnings as well. So they're basically saying, hey, if you need to borrow some money, borrow it from Fiverr. And I can actually borrow up to 5,000 US dollars, which is actually pretty good. That's quite a decent chunk of change. $5,000 you can invest into so many things and make a great return on that investment. And the cost of that $5,000 actually isn't that high. You only have to pay back $681 on top of that $5,000 as well. And the great thing as well is that the way that you pay it back is Fiverr will take 40% from each of your orders to pay it back bit by bit. I've personally not taken a loan from Fiverr yet. I don't think I ever will. I like that it's there. It could be potentially useful, but I would really, really be careful about borrowing money from anyone at all whatsoever. Do your research and really think about it. And then we've got get statement of earnings as well. So let's click on that now because I find this quite interesting. So we can get a statement of earnings over a 12-month period. So what I will do is I'll select June 2021 and we'll download a statement. And this will demonstrate how much money that I have made in the last 12 months from today. Boom! There we go. So as you can see here, statement of earnings. It's an official document. It's letterheaded by Fiverr. It's got my address on there, the date issued. So Fiverr confirms the following. Faulks Digital, source of earnings, services provided to third-party buyers via the Fiverr platform. Earning period 2021 to 2022. We have made $109,844 US dollars in those rolling 12 months. I'm pretty happy with that. The other interesting thing to see on this page as well is you can see that I've spent $3,722 of my Fiverr earnings on other Fiverr sellers. But that's not all I've spent on it. That's just how much of my actual Fiverr balance that I've used towards orders. Anyway, I think the last interesting thing to see here is the contacts page. So we've had 892 buyers. That's how many customers we've actually served. Go over to completed orders. My biggest amount of orders from one single customer is 34. So one customer's ordered 34 times. And my largest singular client on Fiverr has spent $7,812 over 27 orders. Now this is a customer who orders from me every week. They're very consistent and reliable. I love you, thank you so much. And then I've bought from 54 different sellers on Fiverr as well. And the most that I have spent with one freelancer on Fiverr is $670. That's across 5 orders, and that's for script writing. Brilliant script writer. Does such amazing work. Anyway, so that there is the end of everything that I have to show you on the back end of my Fiverr account. I hope it was interesting, but there's actually more. There's one other thing that I have to show you as well. Now, have you heard of Fiverr Workspace? Let's go there now. Well, Fiverr has software that helps you manage those orders outside of the Fiverr ecosystem. So I'm going to sign into my Fiverr Workspace account. And here it is, and I'll make a more in-depth video about Fiverr Workspace soon. But for now, I'll give you a super quick overview. It's software that allows you to set up some clients, you can manage projects, you can send invoices, proposals, contracts, you can even manage subscriptions with customers, you can do time tracking, transactions, manage payments, get statements, look after your receipts and expenses. Honestly, this thing does everything. It does so much for my business, it's insane. Let's go over to transactions. So it actually links to your Fiverr transactions. So as you can see here, there's a few customers, a few orders that have come through on Fiverr. It's tracking all of that income that I've made on Fiverr. But it's also tracking the orders that I make outside of Fiverr with customers that I'm dealing with directly via email. So for example, here you can see PayPal. This is a customer who has ordered with me directly and they've spent $270 with me and they've sent me that money via PayPal. So if we have a look in the last 7 days, I've made $4,000 across my whole business. So over the last 30 days, we've made $16,000 in my overall business. Again, that's including all of the orders that come through on Fiverr.com, as well as all of the customers that I serve directly to. So let's choose a date range again. Let's go with a rolling 1 year. We'll go back to 2021. Today's date is the 20th, so we'll do 20th here until the 20th of June now, to date. Boom. That was $145,000 in the last 12 months across Fiverr and all my direct business. So there you go. I really hope that was interesting. I hope that you managed to learn something, and there's hopefully some insights in there that will help you develop your Fiverr business or your freelancing business too. None of this is meant to be for bragging. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad. Of course, I'm not trying to show off or anything. If anything, what I'm trying to do is provide a bit of inspiration. I want to show you what really is possible. Because if you actually have a look at the first videos on my YouTube channel, you'll see that, you know, I was just an average dude that really didn't know what he was doing. And I've been able to grow this Fiverr business this far. And I feel like I'm only just getting started as well. I have so many more plans. I'm really going to try and take this as far as possible. And I want to see these numbers in the 7 figures sometime in the next few years. So if you found this video interesting, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Please give the video a like and share it with your friends. And check back for more videos as I try to take this Fiverr business to 1 million. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one.